The Chase Home Museum of Utah Folk Arts here in Liberty Park is the only museum in the country dedicated to displaying a permanent state-owned folk art collection. Adrienne, as a curator of the Chase Home Museum of Folk Art, how do you decide what objects will be in this collection?
We actually try very, very hard to sort of build our collection through deep relationships with Utah's different cultural communities. So one of the things that the Folk Arts program does is conduct fieldwork in towns and cities and regions across the state, meeting with different traditional artists of different cultures and finding out what's important to them and why they continue to practice the traditions that they do and how they share it. So we are always trying to identify those great artists in those communities and then bring their work here to Salt Lake to share with people who come to visit the museum.
What would surprise people about folk arts in Utah?
So people in the West, they have strong associations with pioneer culture and strong association with our different native groups, especially the 5 federally recognized tribes here in Utah. But they might not expect to see something like Ukrainian Pysanky, right?
Okay, what is that?
It's an Eastern European form of wax batik used to decorate eggs. So it's a very traditional, ancient art form, but there are people here in Utah who practice it and share it at community events. We also have Peruvian retablos. You wouldn't necessarily expect to see that in Utah, but we do have it here. We have Mexican repujado, which is metal embossing, time-intensive technique, but produces some just immaculate work. We have Burundian basket making. I mean, there's just such a rich range of things that you can find here in the Beehive State.
So how many cultures would you guess are represented in your collection?
Oh, in our collection there's over 30 distinct cultures represented. We are always trying to grow the collection because, as you know, the demographics of Utah are shifting all the time and new cultural groups are coming in and making a home here, and we're always eager to figure out how we can not only identify the artistic forms that they're bringing and practicing, but how we can then present those to the public so people understand a little bit better about the rich cultural tapestry of our state.
What makes something folk art?
Folk art is an art form that is typically learned in an informal setting. It's not something that you go to art school to learn typically. Often passed through intergenerational means, so a parent teaching a child, an aunt teaching a niece or a nephew. Sometimes people work in the same trade, for instance. So somebody who has been a rancher all their life might teach a particular skill like horsehair hitching to someone coming up in that particular field. It's always very wrapped up not only with learning the skill itself, the physical process of that, but learning the culture and reaffirming the shared identity. We have worked really hard to make our museum a place where all of those cultures can be represented, and we do that not only through our exhibitions but through artist demonstrations and workshops and other opportunities for the public to engage directly.
Yeah, I was going to say you do a lot more than just exhibit art here.
Yes, we do. So a lot of people know us for our annual summer concert series, Mondays in the Park, which has actually been going on for 30 years this year. Those concerts are a great opportunity for different cultural groups to come share their music and dance traditions, set up their lawn chairs, their blankets right in front of the Chase Home and can enjoy a free concert.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi Sabrina, tell me about this beautiful home that we're in here in Liberty Park.
This is a home built by Isaac Chase in 1856. The house and the mill and the surrounding farmland, which is about 100 acres, was sold to Salt Lake City, and they created Liberty Park from the farm. And so Liberty Park was open to the public in 1882. The Chase home then was lived in by the park superintendents and their families. In the 1930s, it kind of fell into disrepair, and the Daughters of Utah Pioneers actually came in and kind of saved the house and the mill, knew that it was of historic value, and so it was a Daughters of Utah Pioneers relic hall for a number of years. The State of Utah Arts Council partnered with Salt Lake City and made it into the museum that it is now. And that happened in 1983.
And I know you recently remodeled, but what did you do? What's new?
Yeah, we actually had the whole interior of the house repainted. We took that time to create all new exhibits and had a chance to really kind of think about our object presentation and create new layers of how we give the information to the visitors so they can come in and really enjoy learning about the folk arts here.
Maciej, tell me about the Karpaty dance ensemble that you started.
Karpaty is a Utah-based organization that I founded 2 years ago. Our focus is primarily on Polish and Ukrainian folk dance. I've traveled back to Poland and worked with many dance ensembles and studied at different universities. Each village has its own song and dance. You can see it through costume, you can see it through the dances, you can see it through the song. And here in Salt Lake, I'm very happy to have so many people that are interested in the art. Karpaty lends itself to the Carpathian Mountains, which is the mountain range in southern Poland, western Ukraine, and going all the way down to Romania. I tried to make a connection between our own Wasatch Mountains and the Carpathian Mountains.
Okay, talk about your performances here at the Chase House.
Last year was the first year that we performed at the Mondays in the Park event. This year it's going to be 20 people.
20 people dancing in the ensemble?
Right.
Okay.
And we're always very glad to perform, and there's always very excited audience.
Talk about why it's important to keep these folk dances alive and to bring them to new audiences here in Salt Lake.
I'm trying to keep culture alive by showing these audiences that the past, I mean, it's great to bring it back. Personally, I believe that folk arts are really an incredible part of our history that it'd be a shame if they were forgotten.
You can learn more about the Chase Home Museum of Utah Folk Arts by visiting arts.utah.gov/chasehome. For Contacting the Community, I'm Mary Dixon.